Resident Evil Village's weird side game / online game mode thing, RE-verse, has been having its open beta this past weekend, and I got to play a little bit of it, luckily. The servers are fucking down all the time, apparently, so that's not good. Lucky I got to play it, to be fair, but I did, and I'm gonna talk about it, clearly, that's why this video exists. I'm talking about RE-verse, the open beta, and it's kind of fine, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. It's nothing really to talk about at length at all, like, aside from probably a video like this, to be completely honest. You know, I can't see RE-verse being the subject of multiple dissections in the next 5 to 10 years, like other online games like Call of Duty's, or Halo, or kind of stuff like that. The game plays like a hero shooter. You get the choice, in the beta at least, between 6 former, and I guess current, Resident Evil protagonists, while having 2 active skills and 1 passive. To go down the characters that are available in the beta, you got Chris Redfield, whose passive skill is called Pride of the Original 11, which means he deals more damage to bioweapons the lower his health gets, and his 2 active skills, which are triggered by the bumpers on either PlayStation or Xbox, are called Indomitable Spirit and AMG 78 Powered Exoskeleton. The first means he can't be dealt any damage for a fixed amount of time, or he can't be killed by any damage, sorry. Well, the latter is a big punch. He just punches people. Jill is also another playable character, Jill Valentine. Her passive is Desperation, which is something she's had throughout the whole series. It means she gets an attack boost after dodging. Her other 2 skills are Landmine and Hot Dogger. Landmine is pretty, explanatory. She can place a landmine down, while Hot Dogger is a skill that you want to use a lot more. It deals a lot of damage to enemies at a close range, and if you use it right after dodging, power boost and stuff. Leon Kennedy is also in the game. His 2 active skills are Dual Wield, meaning he can pull out 2 guns for an amount of time, and a Roundhouse Kick to knock out opponents that get too close. Meanwhile, his passive skill is called Rookie Sprint, which allows him to cover a portion of HP lost over time. Claire from Resident Evil 2 again is also available in this game. Her passive skill is Speed Loader, which allows you to reload your Quick Draw army, while her 2 active skills are the Adrenaline Shot, which allows her to inject herself with adrenaline and get a small amount of health and stamina back, and her other skill is the Modified Alternator, which gives nearby enemies a radius in a shock and deals a little bit of damage. Ada is also in the game. Her passive skill is called A Spy's Wisdom, gives her the ability to automatically recover some health when it's critically low, and while her 2 triggered abilities is a Pipe Bomb Arrow, which is an explosive arrow, as well as a Backward Somersault Kick. Hunk is also a playable character, the codenamed Umbrella Security Service Operator. He has his active camouflage ability as one of his active skills, which allows him to become transparent. His other active ability is Assassinate, where he can, assassinate players. And his passive skill is called Tragedy of the Reaper, which, when you work it alongside his camouflage skill, gives him the power to be camouflaged for longer, requiring the fact that he's assassinated someone while camouflaged. Now, you get to play as one of these 6 characters throughout your game. You pick them before loading in. But when you die in every game, depending on how many vials you've collected around the map, you actually get to become one of many bioweapons. Now, these bioweapons in the game, there's just a couple of them. There's the Fat Molded. One of his active abilities is called Self-Destruct. Self-explanatory once again. He also has Enrage, which gives him an increased attack power, increased attack speed, and movement speed. There's also Hunter Y, which has Devour, which means you can eat people within a certain range, and the other called Acid Spray, which lets you spew acid. Jack Baker from RE7 is also in the game. He has one of his skills named Welcome to the Family, where he does, that punch from RE7, while his other one is called Chainsaw Scissor Whirlwind. Jack runs around with a big chainsaw and he does a big spin, a couple big spins. It's actually kind of fun to look at. Nemesis is also in the game. One of his abilities is the Pursuing Tentacle. He hits the ground beneath his feet, tentacles brought up around him, and then one also sprouts up on his target, which is a decent range attach. He's also got Rocket Launcher, which he shoots his rocket launcher at someone. There's also, finally, Super Tyrant. One of the skills is the Dashing Strike, which allows the Tyrant to dash forward and kind of do an uppercut. The other is the Leaping Strike, which means they jump forward and kind of do a slashing motion attack. That's really the crux of the game. Around the map there are randomly spawning vials, which is what allows you, the more vials you get while you're playing as a human, when you die and become one of the biomutants, you get a better biomutant. You get nothing, you're a fat molded, you get as many as possible, you get the chance to be Nemesis or the Super Tyrant. Now, the gameplay is pretty alright. Every character comes, aside from their abilities, equipped with 2 guns at base, again around the map, along with spawning health packs and ammo packs. You also get super weapons, or like one-shot big heavy weapons, usually grenade or rocket launchers, that sometimes have special like acid effects. And it is it's a very strange game, admittedly. It's a free-for-all hero shooter that kind of doesn't have a point at all. It's meant to be, I would guess, just a bit of fun and a nice little extra thing to have alongside RE7, or Resident Evil 8, Village. But in itself as a game, I don't know how I feel about it, because it's got a lot of issues. It's got, aside from the servers, the graphics look weird to me. That might just be me not fully understanding why Resident Evil has a comic book styled game in it. But it does now, that's a thing we have. But also some of the gameplay choices. You can't sprint, which is strange. Everyone has this weird jogging movement thing that just looks odd and out of place, and I don't like it. There's also some other just strange choices. Some abilities are kind of crap. Just from explanations, I think it's pretty obvious that Ada's are kind of lackluster, especially when compared to other characters like Jill, who has, ones that can work together, or Hunk, who you can, string all 3 of his. It seems like a game that's going to be, on launch, pretty unbalanced, and just meant to be just fun side thing to go along, and as a nice little bonus for people who are buying and playing Village. But outside of that, there's no point to this game that I can find. It's perfectly fine. It works decently well when the servers are up, and that's about it. There's not much more to say, really. It exists.